Hey guys, this is Ken
And Mark?
from the Second Founding, and today we are going to be showing you some kits from Dreamforge Games.
Yep. We're going to start out with the Eisenkern Stormtroopers. And these came from the Kickstarter. This is the 20-man box version.
Yep, and you can see that is the box. He's got his Iron Core is actually the name of his game that he's going to be coming up with, and these are produced actually by the folks over at War Games Factory.
Mm-hmm. And I've been putting these together throughout the weekend, and they are just absolutely gorgeous models. I think they're detail-wise might even be heads and tails above the competition.
Matter of opinion. But
So,
we'll let you guys make up your own minds until you can get these
mhm.
impressive miniatures in your own hands. So, uh, here just a quick, how-to and count of what's in the box, how everything assembles, which is a really nice feature. You can see that it's a complex kit, but isn't overly complicated, I
No,
wouldn't say.
no.
So it's nice that they give you that little feature on the back. But so I'm going to go ahead and open up the box.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is a previously unopened box. They did have to open it up at War Games Factory to give us the instructions. And I do believe the instructions will be changing for the retail release.
That is what Mr. Mondragon has said through the Kickstarter updates.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see, I don't know how well you can see, but a little bit of the instructions there, labeling each one of the pieces.
Yeah, more of a, the green left arm goes with the green right arm type thing,
Mm-hmm.
which I did kind of notice needed to happen when I was doing some of the assembly. Especially there was a couple of the rifles that the stock was cut away in a certain way to match up to an arm. If you didn't get it that way, you ended up with glue on a piece that didn't quite fit.
Yeah, a
So,
lot of the stuff fits specifically together, and it has been designed so well that it fits together very tightly.
mm-hmm,
It is a very specific fit with a
definitely.
lot of the stuff.
So I do recommend taking a second and dry fitting as much as you can.
Absolutely.
So everything comes in a plastic bag. And as these are War Games Factory figures, they do have the stacking system, which is just wonderful. Make sure that you're not getting any breakage in transport.
Keeps pieces from getting tangled and little things from getting knocked off of the sprue,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. Everything fits together, and as you can see, all stacks very neatly.
Yep.
Um,
And with this being a 20-man sprue, the second and third sprues are duplicates, as are the bottom two.
mhm.
Now, I do like the fact that the bases are on the actual sprue itself, so you don't have to worry about missing bases. They are a lot thinner than most of the bases that we're familiar with.
They are slightly hollowed out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Similar to a weird style or a privateer style where they have that slight lip as opposed to the beveled 25s that we're used to from Games Workshop.
mm-hmm.
And actually, Ken, if you flip that over, he's actually engraved on the back um, Dreamforge Games, which may be a problem if you have, a small piece of rock or something on the table where most other companies have come through and hollowed out the bottom of the base.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something to be aware of, that if you have a nail or a screw that's not quite set, you may get a slight teetering.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the slight critiques that you had. If you can see these tiny tabs here,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually where the sprue pieces are numbered.
Yes.
The individual pieces are numbered, and it's tiny. It's not impossible to see, but it is sort of difficult. That right there says 2A.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody on camera will be able to see that or not, but it is
It's
kind of
definitely
difficult.
something that it's not your standard Space Marine kit where you can kind of grab things and
Sort of intuitively know where everything fits together.
yeah.
It's almost like we've been trained over
Yes.
the course of decades.
Well, it feels like I mean, the torsos to the legs are fairly similar, and the head goes on. But when it comes to the arms, you need to pay a little bit of attention, so you're matching up the proper arm to the proper weapon.
Definitely.
Yeah, I do like the fact that on this, all the triggers are modeled onto the arms, or onto the hands rather,
Okay.
so that it's not one of those where if you want the melt-a-gun on, you have to actually cut away the trigger and fit it up.
All of the guns fit the same trigger.
Yes.
Have the same sort of slotted insert
Mm-hmm.
for the guns to fit onto.
Definitely.
You can see that even for a 20-man, even for a standard loadout, the sprues are pretty tightly packed
Mm-hmm.
with pieces,
Yes.
which is nice. There are plenty of options before you even begin getting into
The accessory sprue.
accessory sprue that we'll show you later.
Mm-hmm. So we did do just a quick walkthrough of just assembly.
Yeah, I don't know if
So I don't know how well you can see that, but the two torso halves go together as one would expect. It is a flat bottom, which matches up to the flat bottom on the legs.
mm-hmm.
There's just a little bit of overhang, on the torso, so you do need to be careful when you're matching up the torso to the legs to make sure that you don't slip it in such a way that it looks unnatural.
Mm-hmm. You definitely need to pay a little bit of attention when you're putting those two things together. But if you're used to putting any sort of, I don't know, guardsman-like miniature together, it should be fairly intuitive. We also have the legs here. You can see the flat top fitting on that as well. I'm actually holding on to the tab on the bottom of the foot. Sorry. The tab on the bottom of the foot, it is how it slots into the base.
Yep. It's just a peg as opposed to a slotted base.
And these legs are all two pieces, correct, Mark?
No. There's actually only the kneeling legs are in two pieces. Everything else is a one piece.
Everything else is one piece. Okay.
And the nice thing when he does the kneeling leg is he'll actually go ahead and cut away on one of the legs so that the belt will fit up in there.
Okay.
So he's done quite a very nice job of making sure that everything fits together.
And here's an example of the two pieces together. You can see these were assembled using Model Master, the
liquid cement.
Yep.
You can use orange tube glue from Testors if you want. You can use super glue.
He did. Mondragon did recommend not using super glue. I think he specifically cautioned against that.
Yeah.
On the
Leviathan, especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not to say it won't work. You just may not be getting the best fit.
Mm-hmm.
They are intended to be assembled with plastic cement.
Yes.
So. And then on this example, Mark has actually added in the backpack, which fits right up against the torso. There's no tab, so that had you decided to leave it off, you would have sort of just some unsightly thing sticking off the back of your model. The backpack actually fits contours to the back of the torso portion
Yes.
of the miniature, which is nice, I think.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you can add on as much or as little as you want. The nice thing about the armholes is there is a slight ridge there to kind of help you keep the arms where they need to go when you're positioning them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I'm definitely looking at doing when I paint these up is to leave the weapons off, because it does kind of have that weapon across the chest feel a lot of times. So you kind of feel like you might I don't want to say obscure the detail, but make it hard to get to some of the areas for painting.
Mm-hmm. No, it has that, anytime you're painting any sort of miniature with a weapon held across its chest, you want to be able to maximize the detail
Yes.
that you're painting on there. And so, there's plenty of miniatures across any game where people, I think, would be familiar with that concept. You may want to consider, if you like painting the chest to details and you want to paint as much of that miniature as possible, keep the weapons off.
Yes.
But then again, he has given you enough weapon options to where out of the 20-man unit, you could probably model most of them without weapons in front of their chests, I would think.
Yes.
So here you can see the fully assembled miniature. The head fits very tightly into the torso, but you still have plenty of room to play with it. The shoulder pads are actually separate pieces. They're kind of a little, they're not small, but they're occasionally difficult to keep track of and to a position appropriately.
There's a definite ridge that's not, it's not immediately apparent how the the shoulder pad goes on. So again, just take a half second to match it up. So,
yep.
But it's definitely a beautiful miniature. So, guys, I think that pretty much takes care of the unboxing for the basic troop. The next unboxing video we'll come up with is the Trooper accessory kit, which will be a slightly smaller video. So, we will return with the unboxing of the accessories.